On this week's show, I sit down with the two presidential finalists, Mohammed Jakite and Brianna Thompson. Hait interviews history master Cara Hyson on the Capstone Lecture series. Jeremy Huang brings us along Revisit Day, and Grace Canallen profiles girls varsity lacrosse. Lawrenceville's 10-minute newscast begins right now. From the studios inside the Lawrenceville School's historic Pop Hall, this is L10 with Aiden Duffy. Hello and welcome to this week's show. Lawrenceville alumnus William Doyle was recently honored by Vermont lawmakers for 48 years of continuous service. Doyle grew up in New Jersey, attending Lawrenceville before receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree from Princeton. He was first elected to the chamber in 1968 and is the longest-serving member of the Vermont State Legislature. The Gross Center of Visual Arts will feature the work of Cole Carruthers, Lawrenceville class of 1967, during Alumni Weekend. Carruthers has won numerous prizes and grants for his artwork. His paintings are on exhibits in various art museums, government agencies, and corporations. Last Saturday, girls varsity lacrosse defeated Mercersburg 15-1. Fourth former Annabelle Albert scored her 100th goal at Lawrenceville. Congratulations to her and the team. Lawrenceville's Masters Award annually recognizes faculty members for their remarkable service to the school. The recipients of this year's award were former mathematics masters Ross Harrison and Harold Wilder, also English master Benjamin Briggs. This past Monday, fourth formers convened in the KAC for the preliminary round of presidential speeches for next year's Student Council. Candidates Zach Dreyer, Lizzie Gracie, Mohammed Jakite, Brianna Thompson, and F.J. Husick presented their platforms to their peers following yesterday's voting results. Candidates Brianna Thompson and Mohammed Jakite will be moving on to the all-school election. I had the chance to sit down with the two finalists. I'm here with presidential finalist Bree Thompson. So Bree, firstly, congratulations. What do you think it was, either in your speech or your platform, that really led you to connect with the junior class?
I think that just sharing a bit of my experience at Lawrenceville and sharing how the junior class has really made me feel comfortable in here, and how they've really, after accepting me with open arms as a new sophomore, made me feel comfortable exploring new things here, that they bought into my idea that we are all important here at Lawrenceville and that we need to make a Lawrenceville that's representative of all 822 of us.
Awesome. So you mentioned in your platform that you will bring more open forums or ways for the students to gain better information from school officials. How do you plan to do that?
For me, the forums are more about conversation and less about formality. I think that maybe using school meeting occasionally and saying we're going to set some time aside to kind of have a Quaker-style meeting where StuCo gets up on stage and we talk about whatever the issue is, I think that could be one scenario where an open forum is kind of brought up.
Is there any other things in your platform that you are going to emphasize going into the debates?
I think more of the things that I spoke about in my platform, like diversifying choices for socials and kind of expanding the dog pound, taking Athlete of the Week and stuff like that to other sections of school life. Going to Lawrenceville it's an amazing opportunity, it's an amazing experience, and it's an incredibly competitive application process. So I think that just kind of reminding people that I care about them and that I want to hear what they have to say, I think it's just, those are a couple of things I want to make everyone know, make everyone remember.
All right, thank you, Bree. What do you think it was, either in your speech or your platform, that kind of led you to gain the trust of the junior class?
Talking with my classmates, they've all expressed, a change in culture at the school is necessary. So I think that since I pushed that really hard in my platform, in my speech, they felt confident enough to send me to the next round.
And so to push this positivity, can you mention any specific policy changes or things you will do as student body president?
So I think two things that I really want to push forward is more attended games for sports and more attended dances and highly anticipated dances.
Awesome. So finally, if there is one thing you would like to share with your constituents about your ability to lead, what do you think that would be?
Came in Dickinson House, new third former. Was fortunate enough to be voted president of Dickinson House. And I think this year I've shown that I can really lead a house, and most importantly, I will be able to lead the school.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Next Thursday, during school meeting, L10 News and the Lawrence will host the Presidential Forum. The general election is to follow at lunch later that day. The Capstone Lecture series has been a long-standing opportunity for Lawrenceans to engage in a focused and relevant topic in today's society. While specifically complementing the 5th Form Capstone class in the spring, the entire community is invited to attend weekly talks, hosted by distinguished experts in their field and study. This year's series explores contemporary politics of the Middle East. Senior news correspondent Hait had the opportunity to interview history master and co-capstone director Cara Hyson about this year's lectures.
I'm here with Mrs. Hyson after first of her capstone lectures. Is this course geared more towards seniors who are interested in going into politics and international politics, or is it more of a course that everyone can take and should take?
Well, the way I look at it, if you look at any newspaper any day of the week, usually there's 2 or 3 articles about the Middle East. And I sort of see it almost as a civics lesson for anybody, any American citizen, because we are heavily involved in the Middle East, for better or for worse. And to understand why and how makes us more informed citizens. A few years ago in my Middle East class, I had the kids do a survey and ask their friends and even some teachers to find Iraq on the map. And more than 50% of the people couldn't even find it on the map. And yet we've been involved in Iraq heavily since 2003. So the way I look at it is that the whole course is just to be a more informed citizen. You're going to be voters very soon. There's many different ideas of how to bring peace to the Middle East. And it seems to me the more information you know about the historical forces that made it what it is today, the better the chances are that you can make an informed decision.
What is Capstone?
Well, Capstone is an interdisciplinary class for seniors, and the idea behind it was that, well, there are a couple things. It's a skills-based course in some ways, in that although we have Harkness discussions all the time at Lawrenceville, there isn't many opportunities for seniors to really start to listen to a lecture by someone who really knows what they're talking about, at a high level. And so in some ways, the Capstone course prepares seniors for that opportunity in college, because a lot of college courses are not Harkness discussions, they're lecture courses. And so it makes sense to prepare kids to be able to know how to prepare for a lecture, to how to listen to a lecture, and how to get the most out of a lecture. That's one thing, a skills aspect of it. But beyond that, in terms of content, the idea would be to take a topic and look at it from many different angles and get experts in that field coming to talk so we can get a broader understanding, not just from one lens, from many different lenses.
Thank you, Annie. Revisit Days are an opportunity for incoming students to observe a typical day at Lawrenceville. This year, the school is hosting approximately 80 families on each of the 3 Revisit Days. Senior Features Correspondent Jeremy Huang brings us the story.
I'm here at the conclusion of Revisit Day, where I had the chance to talk to the new Dean of Admissions, as well as current students and coaches, in order to gain perspective on a pivotal day in the Lawrenceville experience. Here with our new Dean of Admissions, Dean Richardson. How do you plan to make your mark on this year's Revisit Day?
Well, Jeremy, it's not my mark, and that's a really important thing to say. It's really a team effort. It's a collaborative effort between the admissions office, the students, the faculty. Everyone who's a part of Lawrenceville makes this day special, and it's been a wonderful day so far.
And there's one thing you could tell the prospective students that couldn't make it today. What would it be?
I think unfortunately, you couldn't experience exactly what life is like at Lawrenceville, and it's about the people, and it's about the energy, and it's about the connectedness that we have in-house in Harkness. And if you couldn't make it today, I'm sorry, but there's lots of videos online. There's a lot of opportunities to connect with people, and this is such a welcoming community that hopefully you'll have another chance to come at a future date.
All right, thank you so much. Is there one aspect about your Revisit Day that made you decide to come here?
I think the Lawrenceville community, really. I just remember being here and everyone being really welcoming, and like the vibe of the campus being really upbeat and just fun, and I just remember thinking I would be happy going here.
Is there one aspect about Lawrenceville that made you decide to come here?
I would definitely say the faculty. I loved the whole idea that they would be your housemasters, also your teachers, also your coaches, and I feel like especially at Lawrenceville, they work really hard to just integrate into the community and just also be your friends as well as your adults.
I'm here with Dean Eldridge. Dean Eldridge, if there's a prospective student that couldn't make it today, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to imagine not just themselves in the activities that we have available now, but also think about what they would like to contribute to Lawrenceville to get other people involved. I think the real genius of the place is the support that we give students to try new things and to develop new activities. 4 years ago, we didn't have L10, and now it's a staple of the community because of one student's vision. And I think that's the message that I'd want all of our visitors and the students who couldn't come today to know about Lawrenceville.
Thank you, Jeremy. Girls Varsity Lacrosse is off to a promising start. Our sports correspondent, Grace Canallen, had a chance to go to one of their practices.
I'm here with girls varsity lacrosse captains Chloe Jones, Riley Fletcher, and Emily Walther. So playing in MCTs, New Jersey Preps, and Maples, how do you see your season going in those three divisions?
Well, our goal is to win them all and to get that Triple Crown.
And we see on the back of your shirts that it says unfinished business. How do you think that's going to translate into your play?
Well, the whole idea behind unfinished business was because the past 2 or 3 years that we've been in the MCT league, we haven't been able to finish and come home with the championship title. So with that unfinished business is basically our entire season trying to work for that goal.
Yeah, we're really excited this year. We obviously have a lot of things that we want to win this year, and we're gonna practice so hard. We've been conditioning a lot lately, and we're really excited to take home these 3 titles this year.
What are you guys most excited about this season?
I'd say I guess we're most excited to just kind of see what we practice, what we work on in practice, translate into game, and really come together as a team.
And we've got a lot of new players this year, and just to see how the chemistry on the field can translate in practices and see how that works out in the games.
Yeah, kind of what Riley said, but also we have a lot of young players this year, and we're really, really excited to see what they can do and obviously teach them how Big Red plays and see what they do in the future.
Great, thanks guys. I'm here with head girls varsity lacrosse coach Schulte. So coach, what specifically are you looking to improve upon from last year's season?
It's just the little things, actually. It's the being able to finish when we are in a close game, that we never let down, that we give 110% till the very last whistle, because we have many, many more challenging games this season, and we want to be ready for the postseason to do well. And for that, it's those little aspects of the game that we need to improve on. Nothing major, but just those final little being able to finish when we need to.
Great, thanks, coach.
Thank you, Grace. Before I go, I would like to express how excited I am to start this new journey. I would also be remiss not to thank Guy Alphobes for all his guidance in this new and exciting time. And thank you to all of our viewers for their support through this new chapter. That is our show for Friday, March 31st, 2017. From all of us here at L10, thank you for watching, and good night.